So it's currently the next day, but just taking out the M3 today, e92. So I wanted to do a specific video on the DCT transmission that comes in these parts. So if you're considering a DCT, and that stands for dual clutch transmission, this is what it looks like. I think the most similar system to it would be a PDK, but the PDK is worlds ahead, I'd say. But this is a very good option, and I'm pretty sure that in the F80s that came after this E90 series, the dual clutch is relatively the same. So one thing that people overlook is that the dual clutch transmission also needs to warm up. I've made a previous video about this gauge and also warming up the car and protecting rod bearings, but a valid thing to consider when warming up this vehicle is also the dual clutch. Just like in a manual transmission in the morning, when it can be very stiff, it doesn't feel as crisp, it's because that system needs to warm up. Same with the DCT. I think that's one of the reasons why the car feels really clunky when cold and you can't just drive straight away. I think a lot of the fluids in the dual clutch needs to circulate prior to moving. One thing that I want to focus on is these buttons right here, and those are very important in the dual clutch, primarily because it changes how fast the gears change. In previous generations with the SMG, it translated to more aggressive shifts. You really felt as though the clutch was really being slammed and the transmission was being slammed into gear, but in higher levels, there's less friction with the DCT. Now, when warming up the car, I leave it in the 3-bar section right here. As the car warms up, I'll slowly move it up just to warm up the transmission. I feel like the longevity of the DCT is not only on how you drive it, but how you warm it up, just like this engine with the rod bearings. Just like in my previous videos, I don't rev my car past 3 grand when warming it up, and I wait typically until I get close to 210 degrees Fahrenheit before I rev it out. So after the car is kind of close to being fully warmed up, I'll bump it up to another bar. So as you can see, I have 4 instead of 5 bars. Now when you downshift, it's more crisp. Now if I were to go back down, and say if I were to downshift, it's not as quick. It's like a lazy shift. So typically when I drive around, just around town, I will have it in this 5-bar setting. I don't typically leave it in the 3 unless I'm warming it up. Just as I said earlier, it's important to warm it up, and I believe the extra friction from being in the standard setting helps to warm it up. But these downshifts are my favorite. Put some gas. So as you can see, I'm fully warmed up. I'm gonna press the M button. As you can see, it is now on the 5 bars. of these naturally aspirated engines, especially this one, is it loves to be in the higher rev range. So that's when I think pressing the M mode and having it in its most aggressive setting with the 5 bars really does make a big difference in how the car drives. It makes it feel agile, quick, and kind of up to standard with how gear shifts are in modern day dual clutches. Now that the car is fully warmed up, I don't care if I'm revving it out high. This is my favorite little tunnel. So this is a downshift with all the bars lit up. I'm gonna go down 1 level. This is what it sounds at the 4 bar mark. Not as aggressive. And if I'm gonna go down to a 2 or a 3, not that aggressive at all. I'll say one thing though, upshifts do sound good on the standard 3 bar range. Sounds nice and aggressive. With the 4 bars, really quick, so it's not as drawn out. It doesn't sound as crisp as, say, the standard setting, but the downshifts are a lot better. So I had previously recorded a vlog of me driving the F80 M3 down to Rancho. So enjoy that. I feel like I get more views with the e92 M3 and people who were interested in the car, and there's a lot of people interested right now in this vehicle, and they're willing to pay top dollar for it. So the F80 M3 still really expensive, and because of the market they have remained expensive, so not a lot of people are super interested in that car for some odd reason. Hey, how is everyone? So I redid the bathrooms in the house, and there's some extra quartz, so I'm putting it here in the garage. I think once the lift is here, the cars are stacked, I want to build something a lot more clean to just cover everything, but I need to see how well everything fits. And as you can tell, the G-Wagon takes up a lot of space, but it's an SUV, granted. So once this is moved to this side, we'll see how well all of this fit. I'm gonna be taking this car tomorrow to my homie's birthday. It's gonna be really cool to just catch up with everyone and see how everyone's doing. So tonight I'm gonna be installing these stock. It's just a normal kind of like a yellow light. This has the whole M colors, so that'll be a nice addition. So I got this off of, I think, Amazon. Super cheap. You just make sure that it's the correct model. And it comes with 2 sets of bags, because this is a sedan, 2 for the front, 2 for the back. There's already so many tutorials, so I'm just gonna do it really quick, but I do recommend, sometimes when you buy them it comes with a pry tool. If not, I highly recommend a simple pry tool. So once more, here is a before, and you can see the lights right here. They also come with this part right here, and it's meant to be as an adapter. And after, woo, that's so much better. Gonna be taking out this car to Rancho. Give it a nice solid clean. I like doing this with my carpets when I vacuum. Ooh, ugh.